Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, wherever and whenever you are joining us. Welcome to our latest edition of What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I am the coach, Nick Vesci, joined by the boy, Stephen Vesci.
What up?
And the man, Stephen Comlow.
Yo.
Now, if you're new to our show, we like to think of ourselves as the sports show for sports fans about sports. We like to focus on what happens inside the lines of competition rather than the outside noise, which sometimes looks like TMZ, bad reality TV type of stuff. Before we get started, a reminder to follow us on all of our socials. That's on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, and Threads at UCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Now, without further ado, we get into our top catch for the evening. And our top catch this week was the Tour Championship. No, not the one that Happy Gilmore won back in the 90s with the gold jacket and, green jacket or, who gives a shit. But the real one now that's become a thing since 2007 in the FedEx Cup playoffs from the PGA Tour. If you missed it over the weekend, Tommy Fleetwood shot a final round 68 or 2 under to win at Eastlake in Atlanta and claim his first ever PGA Tour victory, amazingly, coming in the Tour Championship.
Say it again.
Say
it again. It's a long time coming.
Yes. But yes, Tommy Fleetwood won. It's amazing.
Right? Big event.
Yes.
2 weeks after I was talking all
I know
that
you
shit.
buried him.
We were all burying him.
I really did. I mean, everyone was.
Coming into Sunday, Fleetwood had 30 top 5 finishes without a victory in the PGA Tour, which is the most in the past 100 years on tour. His career $33.4 million earnings were the most ever by a golfer without a win. Fleetwood, who's already locked up his place on the European Ryder Cup team, earned his first PGA win in his 100th career start. He had 7 wins on the DP World Tour and 3 others elsewhere in the world. And after 6 runner-up finishes, 12 top 3 finishes, he finally was able to break through. He got his first win. The Englishman took home the $10 million prize. Woo! That's a lot of money.
Yeah, he picked a good one.
He buy you a lot of Taco Bell. Yeah, you can get a lot of Taco Bell for that. You can buy a few Taco Bells for that.
Sure, could go for 100 tacos right now.
He saved some of that too because his wife wasn't there. He didn't have to pay to fly her back. Just saying, just capitalize here.
Okay,
it's an expenditure.
Okay,
it's not a write-off.
You don't even know what a write-off is.
I'll write it.
But yes, a good stuff there from Tommy Fleetwood. Again, 2 weeks after you buried him, Comlo said, no chance, this is over. He can't do it. I've given up on him. He turned back around, and he finally closed it out. And he closed it out in a really good way because that -2 was big.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of said you needed it. Technically, he didn't win by 1 stroke, so he didn't necessarily need it, in that sense. But it's big for his just like psyche because it meant that he didn't give the other players a chance, right? And if someone was going to beat him, they were going to have to do something incredible.
The other ones he kind of choked away.
Yeah, no, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, for all the shit that I talked, I'll go hand up here. I said the dude wasn't a finisher. I said he didn't have the dog in him. I said a lot of stuff. And so, I think like the rest of the golf world, I was very, very relieved to see Tommy finally close one out. It's kind of like, I would say this is like akin to Rory finally winning the Masters. This is a breath of fresh air, and heading into the Ryder Cup, Tommy is now bringing main character energy as not just a force to be reckoned with in a match play or whatever, but it's also like he's won now. He got the monkey off his back, and I think that's a big thing. And I'm not upset about it. I think the whole golf world, this is something that should be celebrated, because even in his losses, at no point in any of those runner-ups or top 5s or top 10s or however far down the depth chart you want to go, did he ever not take accountability. It was never like, what are you going to do? Scotty's really good. Rory's really good. It was always, I should have done better, coming into the Sunday with being the leader in the clubhouse after 3 rounds of golf. I need to be able to close this out. He never made any excuses for himself. And I think that's another reason why this is so refreshing.
Well, now, and you learn from your experiences here. It's like some of those teams you see get into the playoffs for the first time or whatever, that they kind of fizzle out. They don't know how to finish the games, and then here come the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots, whoever it is that takes over. Like that was kind of Scotty Scheffler, right? Scotty Scheffler knew how to finish all these tournaments and events. Fleetwood didn't know how to do it, but more and more events go by, the more and more times you're there, the more you learn from it, the more comfortable you are in those situations. I mean, I'm sure the last few times that he was in those situations, he was probably shaking his boots.
I mean,
there.
I mean, taking the FedEx Cup playoffs alone, he was in contention every single tournament. He was in the conversation every week for the last 3 weeks, and I mean,
he's
not even
hot.
not even extrapolating that, right? Like it felt like he had something to prove, like week after week of being right there.
That Tommy is so hot right now.
So hot right now.
Now, one thing I will, just to be devil's advocate about, right? You talk about this like being the breath of fresh air, that him finally breaking through. How much does that lend itself to a letdown, though? Because you saw with Rory, right? He finally got his Masters. He has not played well since then. He played okay at the Final Tour Championship, but he did not play well in any of the other majors. Like, he pulled out of a couple big-time signature events. He has not done well because it was such a high, right? With Tommy Fleetwood, is it gonna be a high like that, and we're gonna see a letdown when it comes to the Ryder Cup?
The difference is Rory had all these other giant wins. He had all
Rory was on an 11-year journey.
I don't know. He had all his wins and everything,
but he won the
I understand Fleetwood. I feel like
won the Players and the Masters. He was on a heater, and then that is just so huge. Like how sometimes you see a team win a championship, and then the next year, when the Giants under Bruce Bochy were notorious for it, they got that high of the championship, won good the next year.
Now, when you say Rory hasn't played well, to make sure we're being clear,
he even said it. He hasn't played well. He played decent this last week, but he even said he was not playing well, and I think that was a reason he pulled out of a couple tournaments.
Well, I mean, he was at the U.S. Open, 3 hours after he finished on 18.
Yeah, I did see that. That was crazy.
No.
He went
3 hours after he finished up at the Tour Championship, he was sitting in the stands at the U.S. Open.
Watching some tennis.
Private jet life, baby.
Yes. Oh, the tennis Open. Yes, I saw that. I did see that. Hey, who wouldn't like to go to the U.S. Tennis Open? Looks like fun. So
it does look like fun. I just saw a whole behind, I should say VIP look at the U.S. Open and all their tents and vendors they have.
Rory's season isn't anything to sneeze at.
No, it's not. But again, he started off really well, right? He wins the Players, wins the Masters, but then he did not do that well in the other tournaments.
I don't think this lends itself to a letdown, because I believe this is one of those relief situations where now he's on a roll. Now he's been knocked out the door. He's been playing really, really good. Now I think he finally broke through.
Well, so I mean, we have the shitty thing is that it's the last event of the year. You know what I mean?
He's got a couple weeks off.
He seems like he's still trying to prove himself. I feel like he's still going to be that way.
I think he wants to.
Rory was like, all right, I got the Masters.
He's trying
to prove himself forever. It feels like.
Yeah, but Rory's got all these other wins too, and I feel like
Rory had 3 wins this season, 1 runner-up, 8 top 10s, 14 top 25s, made 15 cuts, missed 1 cut, and earned just south of $17 million this year.
I mean, Tommy Fleetwood has
how many of those top 10s came before the Masters, Masters and before? Because that's what I want to know. That's when he was playing his best golf. Was earliest in the year, January, February, March, April. Was when he played his best golf.
I feel like it just feels different to me. It's hard to explain. Feels different.
I understand. I think part of it might be the fact that it's Rory, the magnitude of, yes, it's the Tour Championship and he got all the money.
But the Masters
it's not as big. It's not as big as winning the Masters. It's not as big as winning a major, right? So it just kind of seems like another. That's because think about the other people that have won this right before.
Right, and that's Fleetwood's first win. Right? It's not like he had all these other wins. It was I'm just waiting for this last one. No, that was his first one. It was God, I need this. Just one win on tour. How many wins on tour does Rory have?
Probably a shit ton.
Exactly.
But I guess to your point of that, though, again, 7 wins on the DP World Tour is phenomenal. It's nothing to sneeze at.
2 of those top 10s were before the Masters, the Players and the Houston.
So, I mean, maybe you're right, Boyd, that we can expect Tommy Fleetwood to keep this up going into the Ryder Cup.
I think the
I mean, like,
European
but
teams
also,
probably
like,
favorited, right?
also, right, it is hard to win a golf tournament. Like, let's just recognize that. I would think that, like, obviously, like, Tommy Fleetwood's case for how long it took him to get his first win is an anomaly, right? I mean, there's a reason why no one else is anywhere near that. There's a reason why he's the first golfer to ever eclipse 25 million in career earnings without a win, right? There's a reason for that. But winning a golf tournament is hard, so I don't think we judge the rest of his career based off of how many wins he gets. Now, the sports world, the golf world will judge him based off of majors, right? Because that's winning majors is the equivalent to like how many rings did LeBron have? How many rings did Jordan? You know what I mean? Like that's the ring conversation for golf is majors. And I think that would be the first question is like, okay, so Tommy Fleetwood, Hall of Very Good or Hall of Famer, right? I think that'll be the conversation. And it's going to come down to if he can get a major in the next couple years.
Well, I mean, I guess a comparison would be Colin Montgomery. I don't know if Colin Montgomery's Monty, the Scot.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in like whatever the International Golf Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's in. That would be a comparison because I believe Monty, I don't think he ever won, but he has like some, like he's up there with Fleetwood a number of starts before a win if he ever got it. I know he never got a major. He kind of had some really close calls. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm not going to look it up right now. Someone else can do that. But interesting to see if Monty's in the Golf Hall of Fame, then that would be a pretty good indicator of where Tommy Fleetwood stands in the annals.
Just remember you asked for this.
And I've said annals, right? The annals of the history of golf. So
it's pronounced analgesic, not analgesic. The pills go in your mouth.
Thank you. That's good to know.
Yes, Colin Montgomery was inducted to the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2013.
So that answers your question. Tommy Fleetwood, I think, is on par with what Colin Montgomery did in his career. So that would answer that. And I'd say, yeah, he, especially now with this, kind of puts himself in that situation of a probable or possible Hall of Famer.
So yeah, hats off to Fleetwood, but there's one other headline we need to discuss before we move on from Tour Championship. We need to talk about Patrick Cantlay's god awful pace of play. I understand this is super clickbaity, but this motherfucker is in the last. I have a lot of feelings about this, and you guys are going to hear every goddamn one of them.
Patrick,
you know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, you know what really sticks in my craw?
It's craw. I'm after
the slow play talk is one. It's overshadowing Tommy Fleetwood's win. I mean, it is a clickbaity topic. There's so many people talking about it. There's, who was it? Rappaport was there, and he at one point was like on camera, obviously, with a timer from the time Cantlay got his ball on the tee and go. And he's sitting there and he's going, he's going to look. Here comes a waggle. Here's a look. Here's a waggle. Here's a look. Waggle. Waggle. Shuffle the feet. Shuffle the feet. Here's a waggle. Here's a look. And from teeing the ball up to swinging the club and making contact, 1 minute and 15 seconds.
That's absurd.
It's absurd. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I couldn't find any articles confirming this, but I had heard someone on the course was saying that Cantlay received a warning for slow play.
Yeah, they can do that. Even in the last script, they can do that. They put you on the
clock. He received a warning for, and that's
not the first time that's happened.
But people are obviously talking about Cantlay's slow play and pace of play, and it's going to be a discussion for any big tournament in golf, right? How many times have we talked about the Masters or any of the majors, and we hear pace of play, and it's usually surrounding two players. Yeah, this is my nightmare. There's usually two players that it's surrounding, and that's Cantlay and Harman, right? Because they cannot stop waggling the club and shuffling their feet like they're doing the goddamn cha-cha slide at a bar mitzvah. It is awful to watch. It's impossible. The camera cuts to them so early, so you see every single one of them, and it's unbearable to watch. It's unwatchable. I can't stand it. It makes me despise them both as humans, Cantlay and Harman, and it breaks my soul to think that that they could possibly be in the Ryder Cup. And lastly, I mean, kind of to go back to Fleetwood, is I think this makes Fleetwood's round way more impressive because that's the shit he had to put up with. That's the shit he had to put up with the whole goddamn time.
It's a mental battle.
Yeah, and you're out of
Could you imagine one of us, or let's say the three of us decide to go out and play around, and the fourth person we get paired with is doing that shit?
No, here's a better scenario if you
I'm
imagine.
kicking the ball off the tee.
Two of us and Mike Vesey plus Patrick Cantlay. Can you imagine our father having a legitimate aneurysm? Because he would be flipping the golf cart. He'd be throwing things. We would never.
Can't get in rhythm, Nick. Can't get in rhythm.
Can't get in rhythm. It's just so slow. God damn it. God damn it. I can't.
It's the equivalent to having to sit behind the group in front of you every shot. You know what I mean? It's the equivalent to having to wait for the group in front of you to clear, because that's literally what you're doing, because it should take 4 people that amount of time to get to their ball, hit it, and keep it moving. Like, this is we need to start.
No, there needs to be. Baseball was able to fix their rate of play issue.
The shot clock.
Very easy. The golf has to do something, because how often I know these tournaments mean so much, and there's so much money on the line, and every golf shot requires so much attention to detail, the wind, where to hit it on the green, have the slope and everything, and that. But it should not take 2 minutes to talk through your caddy and keep going, and then another minute to hit the ball. Like, you should know your shots. You've played the course literally all week. You have a practice round.
Well, Fleetwood is such a class act, because there are some players on tour that I firmly believe your Tom Kims of the world would just walk on. I'm going walking past you.
Didn't Hovland do that to Cantlay a couple years ago?
I believe so.
Just like F it. Now,
I don't even think it was a couple years ago. It might have been last year.
I will say a couple things for it. I believe TGL, right, the indoor thing, the cool thing that it did earlier in the year, they had a shot clock, right? I don't know. Was Cantlay on one of those teams? He might have been.
Yeah. So he was on the. I think he was on the Jupiter team.
That's what I thought too. So to your point, right? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I wasn't DeChambeau bashed for this earlier in his career, and he fixed it. You watch him play. This is not an issue for him, so it's fixable. The TGL shows that he can do it, right? But I will say, to counter that, this is a reason he needs to be on the Ryder Cup team. Because you need an agitator. He already proved he's an agitator the previous Ryder Cup. Patrick Reed's not going to get picked, right? Patrick Reed was, he's also a big agitator for the Europeans. He's not going to get picked, right? He didn't do well enough in the British Open to warrant a selection. But Cantlay's right there. Finished probably 15th or so in the Ryder Cup point standings. He's a guy with experience, and he's a proven agitator. He needs to be picked
because he's a
for
fucking
that team.
cock. He's a cock.
Yeah, but dude,
if I was Fleetwood, you have any idea how long I would have taken in the clubhouse to confirm my scorecard? Because he has to sit there and watch me. If me and Cantlay walk into the clubhouse after my round, after I just won, I celebrate it, and now I get to go through, confirm my scorecard, and sign it, I'm going to take your whole damn life. And what's more, real quick, sorry, Nick, what's more is this classless fucking bozo, Patrick Cantlay, didn't congratulate Tommy. It made some asinine tweet that was like, not the result I wanted today. Well, it was a good season. See you next year. Not a congratulations to Tommy. It was a hard fought, but like he got his first one, whatever. No shout outs or anything. He's a classless bozo.
But
classless bozo.
You could make that point too about Patrick Reed, right? And some of the stuff he's done. But what I'm saying is that makes him essential.
About Patrick
right?
Reed.
How about Brad Marchand? How many Stanley Cups does Brad Marchand have? He's got 2 of them.
How many wins does Cantlay have?
He just won another one. These people win you things. They win you games. It's the person that you don't want to have on your team. Bill Lambier wins you things, right? As much as you hate and will bemoan what they do, because on a just singular personal level, it's annoying, and especially in an individual sport like golf, completely understand any feelings of animosity because it is kind of ridiculous. But when we get to the Ryder Cup, that's a team event, even though it is still individuals. Like you get the singles
majorless
on Sunday, even though you have the foursomes and 4-ball on Friday and Saturday, it's still a team event. You need that agitator, especially, like I'm sure Steve was going to bring up about the European team. The European team is polished. Yeah. They are better than the American team. Straight up, we brought it up. They are straight up better, right? So how do you find an edge? One, you find an edge with home field advantage, which we have. But 2, you find an edge with that person like Cantlay getting under someone's skin. Maybe he forces someone to put something out when they really shouldn't. just to be that guy. Those are the things. If you get the polished,
but the problem is that he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it to agitate. He does it because he's a obsessive compulsive bozo.
That almost
so
makes
all I have to do if I'm a European, all I have to do is just interrupt that. Okay,
but here's the thing.
Now
here's the thing. Now
he's got to reset.
Now
I'm under his skin.
You are focusing on something other than golf. Now your concentration is not on your head. Now he's on your head by doing nothing.
Patrick
That's the
Cantlay
beauty of
would
it.
100% look up in the diner if Kramer's slapping the table. He does not have that focus. That's why he needs to shuffle his feet and waggle the club and look up and down the course 80 times. He's a fucking bozo.
He's an agitator. And
he
must be on the Ryder Cup team. You need an agitator because of in my opinion, the talent disparity and the experience disparity and the consistency that is on that European team, because they might not even have John Rahm, but they're still better than the American team, in my opinion. Even though the Americans have Scotty, it's still a team thing. And you need this agitator on their team. They do.
Before we move on to the strikes, can I just, since we've kind of touched on it a little bit, the Ryder Cup format was announced. Can we go over that real quick?
But how's it different?
Well, so the home team gets to pick the format of the Ryder Cup.
Whether it goes 4-ball first and foursomes.
Correct. Friday in the morning, it's alternate shot. Then in the afternoon, it's
4-ball, right?
No,
that's foursomes. Sorry.
Yeah, 4-ball is when everyone plays their own ball, and the best score is
alternate
what you take
shot
from that
is
hole.
what we suck at, right? Because Scheffler is going to put
because we have so many individuals that don't work together, and that
so that format. So alternate shot in the morning, 4-ball in the afternoon, and then Saturday is going to follow the same format, and then Sunday will be your 12 singles matches. Couple fun facts about that. This is the third consecutive time that this format has been used. It is the 13th time overall since 1981 that this format has been used. The USA has selected this format 8 times, Europeans 5 times, and the United States has a 9-3-1 record when utilizing this format.
But we just got our ass kicked utilizing this format last time.
We didn't pick that format, though.
But you said it was the third straight
year.
Yeah, but the host nation picks the format.
But it's the third straight year doing this
same format.
Correct.
So we've lost the last.
We lost
how
last
many?
time.
Yeah, but I'm saying that overall,
that's one of our 3 losses
in the 13 years that this has happened. We have 9 wins, 3 losses.
But it would be
but as of the last,
I don't know why you're arguing with me. I'm just presenting you facts.
I'm not
arguing with you.
I'm not the one that's saying
gaslighting me, motherfucker.
Format win, baby. No, I'm not gassing up. I'm just presenting you with the information. Fuck me, I guess. Jesus.
Well, in the last 3 years, the Europeans have won using that format.
Kick this guy off the call.
This is 11 hitting 12.
Someone tell this poser he doesn't have to hit it from there.
Guys, please. They're going to remember a 12.
Go for it. Go for it.
Fuck it, Roy.
I hit the 7 like John Daly. It's the 3.
God,
that
stretch of golf was so bad that he broke his therapist. The therapist had a mental break.
Perfect. Tin cup is what we're referring to, if you aren't familiar with that.
If you don't know ball, get out. Ball knowers only.
Yeah, let's alienate all the rest of our 6 viewers that we get. Anything else before we move on, please?
I was telling, speaking of the viewer count, I was telling Stevie the PGOT episode's doing really well. It's doing well.
Good. I was cool. Talk to PGOT.
It was it was a really good watch. If you haven't watched or listened, please go check it out. Go check out
especially with college football officially starting week 1 this weekend.
Started last.
That's going to do it for our top catch this week. We get to our 3 strikes. Kamla, would you like to give us strike 1?
Yes. Strike 1. So we'll go ahead and keep it with golf for now, because I know these other 2 bimbos are going to go ahead and pivot to probably something a lot lamer.
Pivot.
Friends is what we were referring to.
Be the lamest.
So keeping it with golf. So on the other side, on the ladies' side of golf, Brooke Henderson won the Canadian Open, or the CPKC. This breaks her dry spell of 2 years and 7 months without a win, which is kind of crazy considering she's another one of those big names in golf. But we've talked about it in the past, probably a couple weeks ago. We said that, the talent pool is just so much deeper on the women's side that, it's hard. Like we talked, Nelly Korda's playing better statistically this year, and she doesn't have a win, right? So Brooke Henderson breaks her dry spell of 2 years and 7 months without a win. It's her second time winning the Canadian Open, so she's the first woman to complete this feat. She's the winningest golfer now in Canadian history, and she's also, again, going back to kind of the talent pool and how many different people are winning on the LPGA side of things. She's the 23rd player to win on the LPGA Tour this season.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a pretty fun watch, and I'm going to be honest with you, not to shade Tommy, wasn't watching. Didn't watch the Tour Championship because I saw he was in the lead and said he'll find a way to give this back. So I tuned in and I was checking in on the Canadian Open and checking in on our girl Brooke Henderson. So that was a pretty fun watch.
Now, I'm going to give an ode to our boy Jason Sudeikis here. Dry spell. Dry spell. Fix that with Vagisil. I scream, you scream, we
Is
all
that what
scream.
you bozos are laughing about over there?
I looked over at Nick and I'm like, oh no, it's all over.
That's
Stay
awful.
free maxi pads when your uterine lining looks like the elevator from The Shining.
Jesus Christ. That's awful. I'm
Look
sorry, Brooke Henderson, for whenever you hear this.
The SNL skit, what Pete Twinkle and Greg Stink. That's what it is with Will Forte.
And that's
Jason Sudeikis.
I think that's on the playlist you made like 8 times.
Because they're all so good.
I think you just kept getting hammered and you're like, gotta add this. Just kept re-adding it. Oh man. Yeah, but anyway, so that's my strike. So I'll go ahead and boy, you can go ahead and wind up and deliver.
Jesus. All right. Let's transition to college football.
It's over.
It's over.
Just shut it down. What the hell was that?
Everybody out of the channel! Everybody out!
Thank you. Just playing them all.
Just play them all.
Nick's losing it here. Nick's losing it here.
Well, if you've ever watched those skits from SNL, probably close to about 15 years ago.
All right, bring it back. Stevie, lock us in. Stevie, dial us in here. I'm going to play the strike noise again.
Okay, play it again.
There we go. Go ahead, Stevie.
Professionals, God damn it.
God damn it.
Stop shanking the ball. Oh, who did that? We're
Farmageddon.
Oh, a little chili dipper.
Chili dip, Jesus. We're
Man,
never getting through this. There was football that was played this last weekend, if you didn't notice.
Allegedly.
Okay. Hot start. I love it.
All right. If any of you had some Guinness watching the game in Ireland like I did, and then had to pour Guinness into a to-go cup to go to a 1-year-old's party while that game was finishing up, yeah, that's what my Saturday looked like.
And you're not the one with a problem.
No. This is the start of college football. Get it together, people.
He's an innovator.
Yeah, that's correct. But anyway, Farmageddon, Iowa State versus Kansas State. Played since 1917, as we discussed last week. Iowa State ended up winning 24-21. By the way, the over-under was 51.5, and if Carson Hansen was 2 inches taller, it would have hit. He literally landed at the 2-inch line, and then they kneeled it out for the last 2 minutes. So our gambling expert, AJ, was a little upset about it, but Iowa State did win. He did have that one. Again, going through this game, Rocco Becht has an it factor that is not quantifiable. He gets the tough yardage when it's needed, the tough touchdowns when it's needed, and makes the right plays and the right decisions. I'm a big Rocco, big Iowa State fan this year. If you looked at late in that game, there were a few gutsy play calls that basically iced the game that you could have taken the points or ran the ball at the middle, do whatever, but a few play action fakes, trusting your quarterback to go make the correct decision, the correct play. That is also 3 straight wins for Iowa State and Matt Campbell in Farmageddon. They have Kansas State's number. As much as people love Kansas State with Avery Johnson, they're going to put up numbers and points, but I don't see them getting over the hump of the Big 12 championship. But also, that was actually week 0, not even week 1. That was week 0. So let's not overreact to this game. This was people talk about how sloppy the game was.
Yeah.
However, it was sloppy to start the game.
But you're playing in
week 1
weather.
Yes, it's week 1 in a rivalry game in Dublin in horrible weather.
Great grass.
And then literally as the weather cleared up, it got a lot more it got a lot easier to throw the football. There were guys that you couldn't catch the ball.
Not gonna lie, I was rooting for it to stay miserable and that game be 7-3, 7-3 slobber knocker. This real football, son.
But if you saw Iowa State in the second half of that game, especially the fourth quarter, able to run the football very, very well.
Yeah,
Carson Hansen is going to be a fan favorite.
Running back, and their other back they had was good. I forgot his
Abu Sama III.
Yeah,
yes, he's very good.
He
usually destroys Kansas State. He's had, I think last year he had like 100-something yards on like 8 carries or something ridiculous. Like he usually destroys Kansas State. But Hansen in weather like that, he gets you the tough yardage. But also Rocco, 3rd and short, 4th and short. They like to use him in running situations a lot. Again, I think he's the best quarterback in the Big 12. Maybe Leavitt or Sam Leavitt, I should say, is up there with him, probably tied. But I really like Rocco. Anyway, moving on from Iowa State and Kansas State, unless you had anything else. Nope. Let's go out to Hawaii, Honolulu.
Iowa.
I'm in the Kapula suite.
Matches Nick's shirt right now.
Why do you think I wore it?
Laundry day.
I hosted Stanford on Saturday night, which if you're on the East Coast, you're actually able to watch that game because it was a 7:30 start, which was really nice. 1:30 Hawaii time, by the way. Hawaii. I've been to the islands. I'm kind of a local.
I'm in the Kapula suite.
Anyway, Hawaii ended up winning that game 23-20 on a game-winning field goal. Hawaii's quarterback, Micah Alejado, is awesome.
You want to talk
absolute gamer.
Game.
He ended up getting rolled up on early in the second half, basically finished the game on one leg where his mobility is an asset for him. Was not able to move, basically willed his team to win that game. But Hawaii, I also want people to remember, Hawaii was favored in this game, right? This isn't like a monumental upset because it's a Power 4 school and Hawaii's, the Mountain West Hawaii team that hasn't been good for years. Hawaii was actually favored in this game by 2.5. They won by 3, right? But if you're Stanford, I came away from that game understanding what Stanford wants to do and who they want to be and seeing the vision for Stanford moving forward. Yes, they would have loved to win that game and they probably should have. That pick at the end, incredible interception, by the way, but that literally cost them the game. But Andrew Luck comes in to Stanford as the GM. By the way, Andrew Luck, his dad, Oliver Luck, played at where?
From West Virginia.
Yes, thank you.
West by God.
But Andrew Luck literally comes in and they hire Frank Reich, his old head
Frank
coach.
Reich, I believe, is on an interim basis because when Andrew Luck came in, there weren't any good candidates out there, and then he called his old coach up with the Colts and said,
to me, this feels like it's Andrew Luck's team.
Yes,
with Frank Reich just kind of being there.
He's there to help develop some guys. Yeah. Maybe you develop a couple guys that stay around, but yeah, that's it. I mean, you're right. There's a reason that Hawaii was favored. We shouldn't expect much out of them. Maybe a couple of competitive games. They're probably going to beat UVA, to be honest. That's going to be the one game they show up and play well.
I'm not going to be shocked if Stanford becomes competitive later in this year. They're going to run the football. It's very clear that they want to run the football a lot. They had in that game, they had a 20-play, 85-yard drive, and they ran the ball 15 times on that drive. It was beautiful. I'm like, Stanford's winning this game. And then they literally opened up the next drive doing the exact same thing and then got a little too cute. And honestly, the interception was just incredible. It's hard to blame the play calls that much, but interception was just great. But Stanford, I came away thinking Micah Ford, the running back, really good. They're going to try to lean on you and run the football and make the games gross and terrible so they can be competitive and stay in it and see if they can get a win later. The QB play was not good, but maybe Andrew Luck can figure that out. But lots of tight ends, lots of running the football. I came away thinking I like where Stanford's going. Even though they lost this game, I like it. And Hawaii. How can you not root for Hawaii?
Yeah, you haven't mentioned Hawaii's kicker who hit the game-winning field goal.
Oh, yes, he learned.
Kansei Matsuzawa.
Yes, he
Right,
learned
go
how
ahead.
to kick by watching YouTube videos.
He's Japanese. I think he was in the States and like watched a football game. I'd never seen it before. I was like, this is freaking sweet. It's like, I think I can do some of this, and got back to Japan, started watching YouTube videos on how to kick, right? And just started teaching himself to kick. And he reached out, I forget, it's like a community college in Ohio. Finally was like, all right, you can come kick for us and try it. And went there, and then he parlayed that into this gig here at Hawaii at a Division I school, kicking full-time, and just nailed a game-winning field goal
to his native Japan.
Yep, and the game-winning field goal as time expired, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
That's all I've got for the college football recap.
Hell yeah! All right,
I wanted to highlight those two games. I thought the Hawaii Stanford game was a lot of fun.
It was good. You want to bring us up here?
I sure do.
So for my strike, I'm gonna go with Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. Right on Sunday, he hit home runs number 48 and 49 to break the single season record for home runs by a catcher, set by Salvador Perez in 2021. Then on Monday, the big dumper clubbed his 50th long ball of the year to join Mickey Mantle. Yes, that Mickey, as the second switch hitter in MLB history with a 50 home run season. Mantle did so twice, by the way, hitting 52 in 1956 and then 54 in 1961, where he didn't lead the league in home runs because in 1961, Roger Maris hit 61. He is the...
off there?
Yeah.
What is that?
7.
Why don't you just name him Mickey? Mickey. 7 Costanza. 7 beatings a day.
Roughly 7 years to life. Yeah, you're doing that good service.
Raleigh is the first switch hitter to, this one, the coolest one to me, first switch hitter ever to hit 20 or more homers from both sides of the plate.
That's nice.
In the same season. That's a wild stat to me. The home run he hit, by the way, on Monday was from the right side of the plate. He's the 8th player in history to reach 50 home runs before September, which I thought was interesting. He's also the second Mariner ever to hit 50 or more homers in the season, as Ken Griffey Jr. did so in back-to-back years, hitting 56, I believe, both in 97 and 98. So kind of amazing stuff from Cal Raleigh. And what's almost more amazing is his batting average, I believe, entering play today was 247. He's got 50 home runs. He's hitting 247. Even McGuire, because McGuire, I think I told you this, boy, if you look at McGuire's stats, almost like a third of all of his career hits are home runs. It's crazy, right? But McGuire's career average was still like 265.
So what's Cal Raleigh's?
Yes, that's the thing I wanted to bring up is he's got 50 home runs. He's hitting 247. That is unbelievable. That means when he is making contact, the ball is gone.
He has, can you guess the number of hits? I guess maybe you could do the math.
125?
You're very, very close. It's 120. He has 120 hits, and 50 of those have gone over the fence.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
It's incredible. That does lend itself for this to not be replicated, because like when you look at Mickey Mantle's numbers, he was hitting like almost 330, 350, hitting 50 some home runs, right? So it's a little different in that perspective, but it almost makes it more amazing that he's doing this again, because what people bring up is the catcher position. We talked about it a week ago about
really good
how often and
too.
Also how often he plays catcher. And so it's not like, he played in 130 games, but he DH'd like 40 times. No, he DHs a handful of times, probably like somewhere between 10 and 20 times in a year, right? And so still being able to play 130, 140, 150 games means that he's only getting a handful of games completely off, playing the most physically demanding position on the field, and he's able to hit for this much power. It is incredible. It's amazing. My question, though, to you, would you vote him MVP?
I was thinking about this question because I was going to ask you this as well, because I think you're splitting hairs. You can make the argument for both. Aaron Judge's average is 90 points higher or 80 points higher than his. Aaron Judge's OPS is higher, which is insane. But I believe Cal Raleigh's third in OPS. It's not like he's like way down there.
Well, I mean, has to
Cal
be
Raleigh
50 home runs.
Cal Raleigh has 10 more home runs. He's got like
Does
I
baseball
believe
do
17
like
more RBIs, got more stolen bases. He plays the catching position, which is a lot more demanding. And he's I believe is he a Platinum Glove Award winner at the catcher position?
Platinum Glove means that
Is
you're the best fielder of all. I don't think so. I actually thought defensive metrics for him
weren't good. I thought he was a really good defender.
I thought it was average.
Baseball like to do I mean, like when we talked about like Jokic, right, and how like his run of MVPs and how good he is, Nick, I remember you bringing up like they're gonna like, of course SGA is gonna get it because they don't want to give it to Jokic again because they hate giving that award out to the same person year after year. Does baseball do that as well?
No.
Like, do you think baseball would look for someone else to give it to?
There's a little bit of that, right? Of like, oh, well, Judge's year isn't as good as his years past, but we've seen it with Ohtani with how much he's won this award and how many times Barry Bonds won this award, right? If you are... Oh, did he really? Wow.
2024 AL Platinum Glove.
That's cool.
That's pretty impressive.
That's why I know you're thinking he wasn't that great of a catcher, but I think he's better than what you realize. That's why
what is his WAR for this year? Now WAR is, we've talked about before,
what is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Huh. That's what Tolstoy originally named War and Peace. Go all the way up, but boy, it's all the way up there. 5.9. Judges, I think, is a lot higher. Right. And that is a lot of what they base it off of, because like
that's true.
Right. In the
6.9.
In the National League, there's a case to be made for Kyle Schwarber getting legitimate MVP consideration.
I was about to ask you.
He's not going to win it. Like it would be really hard for him to win it because he's not going to have the WAR.
Yeah, I want Schwarber to win it.
I think he should.
I think he should win it because Shohei has shown me nothing as a pitcher this year. There's nothing that I see from him as a pitcher that goes, well, he's more valuable than Schwarber.
Yes,
they're both
but his hitting statistics for Shohei are still going to
win
better. Yeah, Shohei's still hitting probably close to 280.
So
45 bombs, about same number of home runs, same number of
They have the same number of... No, Schwarber has 25 or 26 more RBIs.
Does he really?
Schwarber has 110. He's leading the majors in RBI, and guess who's second is Cal Raleigh. They're both, him and Raleigh are both hitting 246, 247.
Yeah.
Their OPS, if I go to the OPS, they are sitting at 3 and 4, and Aaron Judge and Shohei are sitting at 1 and 2. So I think you can make the argument for each of them, but to me, I think it's Raleigh and I think it's Schwarber.
Yeah,
that's why I would go with it, because Judge now his average has dropped a lot.
It has.
He's at 322
since he had that injury. You can kind of tell it. He says there's no pain, no hindrance. It's hindering him. It looks like it's hindering his power too. He has not really hit it well. Now it's had an impact on the Yankees lineup. It's helped them because his presence helps anyone because he's such a good hitter.
Absolutely,
in all facets of what hitting is. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, I think if his average continues to fall, it's got to go to Cal Raleigh.
It's got to go to Raleigh. Yeah, I agree.
Because of that. Now, if he, turns it on here and he finishes, which he like the drop of the hat, and he finishes the 50 or more home runs, it's Aaron Judge.
Where do the Mariners stand in like playoff?
They are the last wild card team. So, but same with the Yankees. The Yankees are the first.
Here, let's go wild card.
Yankees are what, second wild card?
Yankees are second wild card.
And their records though are the same, right? So both of them are having without either of them, their teams are not playoff teams too. Which, you look at that sometimes with these guys, right? That's why we've said should Mike Trout have won those MVPs? He probably shouldn't have, but there really weren't good candidates But even with
would voters take into consideration the home run derby, you think?
No,
they wouldn't look at something like that.
They do not care about it. To me right now, I'm going Raleigh and I'm going Schwarber as my two MVPs.
Yeah, I want Schwarber to win because
I don't think Shohei's pitching has not been this guy does two things at an unbelievable level. Look at his pitching. He's got a 2.8 ERA. and he's won 10 games or whatever. He's been very average to below average pitching.
Well,
he hasn't pitched in a year and a half, and he's still trying to figure it out. So like, I'm not going to blame him for that. But if there's any time to have to look at these MVPs, I mean, Schwarber, I just feel like that those RBI numbers are so ridiculous. The same number of home runs. The average, I know it's like 35 points different, but they're both DHs, right?
Well, the thing to me about MVP is you also have to look at the impact on your team, right? It's not.
I think Schwarber's got the biggest.
Yeah, and it's not. It is an individual award, right? Obviously, but you have to consider what it means to be valuable, right? And every time you look up Kyle Schwarber hitting a 3-run home run in like the 7th inning to put the Phillies ahead, right?
Yeah, he's.
And that's something that really doesn't go into WAR, right? Because WAR is just looking at a statistical analysis of how your stats compare to other people at your position. So that 3-run home run, whether it's in the 7th inning or the 1st inning, is treated equally, I believe. I don't think they differentiate that when they calculate WAR, right? So when you look at Schwarber with his batting average being that many points lower, that kind of deceives you because it's more about what his impact is for the Phillies. A Phillies team fighting, a Phillies team that has
the fighting Phils.
Thank you. You're right. Seen Bryce Harper go out for an extended period of time this year, right? Seen other guys on this roster. Castellanos hasn't done much. Alec Boehm hasn't done much. Right? JT Realmuto hasn't done much.
Okay.
Zach Wheeler's gone for the rest of the year with that. Hopefully he gets better with that blood clot. Right?
There's so many other things. They've gotten a couple guys.
Right. Jose Alvarado, the supposed to be closer, the lefty's been suspended for PEDs. Right. So there's all these things. They did bring in Duran. But they did bring in Yohan Duran with the Durantula, which is so sweet, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So you look at all of those things together, and the Phillies definitively would not be where they are without every bit of Kyle Schwarber, right? And so to me, that has to be factored in with voters, and I think it is a little bit, but you also, if you look through, I'll use the word again, the annals of baseball history and MVP voting, there are a lot of guys that you look at the stats and you go, why the hell did they vote that guy MVP and the 2 guys below him had those numbers? And I think that the writers of today are very conscious of that, right? They understand that some of that stuff was like politically motivated, was, because they didn't have all the stats that they had. So it was all like barnstorming and like, oh, you got to get this guy, or it's like you said, Kamal, maybe it needs to be this person this year, right? There was all these weird ulterior motives going on in some of the earlier days of that, right? And the writers today are conscious of it, right? So, there's that we don't want to vote a guy where this will look bad on us in 20 years, right? And I think because of that, you're going to see Ohtani win this award because it's not going to look bad when someone checks Baseball Reference in 20 years and sees Shohei Ohtani with another MVP with the stats he has. But if you were to look at that Kyle Schwarber year without any context, you would go, why? I don't get it. Why is he MVP, right? And that's kind of
finished with 130 RBI, 50 plus home runs.
Is 130 RBIs that statistically significant? When you consider Manny Ramirez had like 160 one year.
To me, I mean, you know why it's significantly or statistically significant to me is because RBI means a run scored.
Yes, but
that means
voters these days don't value that stat as much as they used to.
Which is stupid.
Which I agree. I think that needs to have more value because you said, at the end of the day, if the goal is to score more runs than the other team and you produce
that's how you win,
more
right?
runs than anyone, that should matter. But again, that's,
average with runners in scoring position and RBI are my 2 favorite stats.
WAR does not
run score.
WAR does not look at RBIs and give it a big weight as it does other statistics.
Which does it. Yeah, that's right. What's a flawed
because they
Moneyball,
say,
Moneyball, flawed bullshit.
Because I know the argument is well, to get an RBI, you had to rely on your teammate to get on base. You didn't create that opportunity.
Which is absolutely, because anybody who's ever played the game knows it's very, very difficult to hit with runners in scoring position or to drive in runs. There's a clutch factor about that. Pitcher is
pitched differently.
Pitcher is pitching you differently than you've seen. If no one's on base, Shohei right now has 45 home runs, I believe, right? He's got 45 home runs. He has, I think, 4 RBIs. Kyle Schwarber has 45 home runs and he's driven in 110. That means
again,
his home runs have come with people on base.
They would say that, well, Ohtani's batting
Shohei
leadoff
Ohtani
so
has
often that he doesn't have
he
people in
has
front
he
of
has the
him,
best team ever assembled around him, right? The Dodgers always have the best players that money can buy, right? I don't. That's, to me, I feel like the Schwarber RBI numbers, like RBI numbers in general, are just such an important stat that it's nerds that never played the game of baseball. They're coming up with this WAR statistic that are screwing things up.
WAR does help to put something like a total into
some things,
perspective,
but
right? It
not
allows you
value
to
RBI because you have to rely on your teammates.
It allows you to compare things, like it's wins above replacement. Like it shows you how much better you were than what the
But I mean, how many years
level base is?
Yeah, I mean, Trout had this same thing where he would have 40 home runs and he drove in 90 in a year.
I mean,
and
Harper did that with some of those Nats teams.
Yeah, I didn't like his MVP years.
Yeah, I didn't either, but sometimes it works out that way where, you don't have strong candidates. Like, I mean, Dustin Pedroia has an MVP and he really should.
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
So it just that plays into it. Again, just to answer the initial question of, who you got MVP wise, if Judge doesn't get going here a little bit next week or two, I'm going to take Raleigh.
So if you, so answer it from like today,
right now,
before today's game. Yeah, who are you going with? There's not a wrong answer.
I'm gonna still say it's Aaron Judge.
Okay, I'll take Raleigh. I would take Raleigh
because you talk about the team, right? The Yankees. Yeah. We as much as they played better, right, and all that stuff, you still look at the roster and it's like, okay, Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham played well this year, and Giancarlo has played really well since he came back in Aaron Judge's stead. But outside of that, like, I'm still not buying all the hype of what. I mean, Jazz is on fire right now, last couple games, but he's made some.
No, he's had 6 home runs in his last 13 games.
Yeah, but he's so streaky. His average is so low. He's made some bad decisions. The bullpen has been very spotty at times, and you still have like so many holes that have been in that lineup with like Austin Wells and Volpe, and
Volpe's trash, dude.
It's like all these factors that. It's no coincidence that the Yankees' record with Judge, even if Judge were to go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, their record is still way better. And that's a crazy thing to think about. Whereas on Raleigh's side, I think we talked about this before, the Mariners have had a lot of contributions.
J-Rod and their trade deadline.
J-Rod and Rosarina have been very good.
Yeah, their trade deadline moves were great.
Yeah, Gino Suarez and Josh Naylor, great acquisitions, right? The pitching staff has been phenomenal. You didn't even bring up Luis Castillo because he might even be the third, fourth starter at this point. George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo. I mean, they are loaded pitching wise with Andres Munoz in the back end. So that right now, I think, still gives Judge a little edge. But if Judge's average dips closer to 300, because it was like 350,
it's like 380, and now it's down to 322.
Right. If it dips closer to 300, I'm going to take Cal Raleigh because of the position he's at, because of how good he really has been when he is making contact with the ball, which is at an incredible.
Your 2024 Platinum Glove Award winner as well.
All right, that's going to move us on to our favorite segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. And this week, in honor of the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, we went with our favorite switch hitters of all time. And no, that is not a sexual innuendo for those people out there. Your favorite switch hitters of all time. Big dumper isn't a sexual innuendo either.
Oh, okay.
Neither is Vagisil.
Jesus Christ. Good to know.
We're dipping Vagisil regular strength.
Thank you. Butters. All right, who would like to start?
I'll go first. Good Lord. No honorable mention this week. Number 5, I'm for all the reasons that you guys just talked about, that we've been talking about for the last 10 minutes, I'm going to go Big Dumper. I'm going to go Big Dumper in the 5 hole.
It's a great nickname.
Yeah, he's doing everything he needs to do. I mean, you could make the argument that, he's not established enough as a switch hitter to maybe be someone's favorite, but I mean, to me, it's relevant, it's happening, it's now. Like, of course, he's drawing attention, and I think that's what I look for in a favorite, is a reason to watch and a reason to tune into an out-of-market game, right? And Cal Raleigh checks that box. Number 4, I'm going to go with Pete Rose, the late, great Pete Rose. This guy was incredibly consistent from both sides of the plate. I think to the point where his batting average was like separated by 0.00 something crazy like that. I think it was like, yeah, I mean, the late great Pete Rose, really he needs no introduction. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Adley Rutschman. I mean, it's
he's not even be on the Orioles next year.
Yeah,
They're
I know.
shopping him.
I know
They are looking for trading partners for him.
I know they are, because they just extended Basallo for 8 years. Yeah.
Which is just so Orioles.
It's so
because
Baltimore.
why could one of them not play first base? Because you don't have a first baseman.
Yeah, I know.
So why?
I don't want to get into it, man. Like, he's on my list.
It's not that hard.
If we
It's
do this,
incredibly difficult.
if we do this list again next year, maybe he probably won't be on it.
No, because he'll be on the Yankees or
But
something.
he's an Oriole. He's an Oriole. He's a switch hitter. He switch hit at the home run derby last year. It was fun to watch. So I'm going to go Adley in the 3 hole. Number 2, I'm going to go with my dad's favorite player. I'm going to go with the flashiest switch hitter of all time. I'm going to go with Mickey. I'm going to go with Mickey in the 2 hole.
You just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, that's why I put him at number 2, so I could do the 7.
What about Soda?
Pretty name for a girl.
You know, like the mantra was, you know, Chipper Jones was like the modern prototype for switch hitters. Mickey was the flashiest of switch hitters, and I think, like, you know, again, to throw it to my dad never had a lot of like sports memorabilia or jerseys or anything in the house. Especially if it wasn't Navy, but Dad did have a Mickey Mantle jersey shirt, and you know, Dad loved Mickey Mantle, and so, you know, growing up, I heard a lot about Mickey and how wonderful he was, and obviously the Seinfeld references are great too. So I'd be remiss if I didn't include him near the top of my list. But again, if Mickey's the flashiest, my number 1 is, I think, again, my opinion, the most durable, consistent switch hitter of all time, combining power with longevity. I'm going to go with Eddie Murray.
I knew it.
I'm going Eddie Murray in the 1. Eddie Murray in the 1. I mean, he's a storied career, fantastic career, and being able to get it done from both sides of the plate again, as consistently as he did. I'm always going to find a way to sneak an Oriole into these lists. I'm going to do it.
3,000 hits, does he?
3,500 home runs.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got 3. He's the only switch hitter with 3,000 hits and 500 home runs, I believe.
Yep.
So only 2 switch hitters with 500 home runs.
Yeah, so that's my list. I'll hang up and listen. Thank you, Eddie Murray.
Yeah, I have one honorable mention. Ozzie Albies.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of watching him play. Unfortunately, he's been injured the last couple years, but when he is right and healthy, one of the smallest guys on the field with some of the best pop on the field. Both sides of the plate, just, you know, someone who's 5'8", hitting absolute bombs is fun to watch. I'm a fan of Ozzie Albies. I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he plays. I hope he's able to have some healthy years in his prime. Number 5, how about Lance Berkman?
There we go.
Former Astros. Remember when he used to just lay the bat down?
Yeah, what was his nickname again? The Puma. Was that it?
The Puma. I believe so. That sounds
nickname.
right. I mean, you would know that. But it was such a long swing.
But it was short to the ball.
It was short. Yeah, it was one of those things where you have to like almost slow it down. So you're like, okay, he is in the right spots. It's just the way he swings looks long. Look goofy. And then he would lay the bat down, which is, I absolutely love that. It's just so unique. No one's ever done it since either. I think it's hilarious. Number 4, Carlos Beltran. Yeah, I knew Nick was going to say that.
That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. They're holding it against him.
He's really fucking good, though.
And
remember watching him?
Hall of Fame. He's so good.
Yes,
he has
watching his prime.
The highest stolen base percentage like ever. Like minimum X number of stolen bases. He never got caught stealing. He had incredible.
He had an aesthetically pleasing batting stance, plate appearance. I believe he was also very consistently the same stance on each side.
Very hitterish is what they would say.
Hitterish, that's the word I'm looking for. And also great fielder too. But moving on, number 3, I'm surprised this one wasn't on your list, Comlo. Mr. Kettle One Martini.
Kettle One Martini.
I'm a big Ketel Marte fan. I will go out of my way to watch Diamondbacks games to watch Ketel Marte.
I have a lot of reasons still to watch Diamondbacks games with him, Corbin Carroll.
Yes,
Lourdes. They got
he's
some
one of the most
players,
underrated players in the game. He does all the little things
especially
right,
at that
and
position.
yes, power hit a power hitting switch hitter second baseman. You know how rare that is.
Yeah, no, you're kissing Chase Utley, and that's it.
That's it. But Kettle One Martini, one of my favorites. Number 2, we've talked about this guy at length in previous shows. Jose Ramirez will go down. I believe he'll end up being a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Does everything. This guy's stealing bags that, from the look of him, you would never think he's stealing bases. Power on both sides, average on both sides, always a tough out. Jose Ramirez, one of the best hitters in the game, has been over the last few years. And then number 1, the Atlanta Braves, a Jones-less chipper.
Larry?
Yeah, Larry.
I feel like you're a big, like, sneaky Chipper Jones fan.
He was the best switch hitter growing up. I mean, by far. I mean, I know Nick's going to have Jorge Posada and Bernie
What
Williams
about
on
Ken
his team.
Caminiti? You didn't have him on there? You're not
No.
MVP?
Chipper
won an
Jones
MVP.
was
And then
so damn good.
OD'd on an 8-ball, but, you know,
Jesus Christ.
that's just how
Anyway,
it goes
Lord.
sometimes.
Chipper Jones was so damn good. Part of these early 2000s Braves that, everyone wanted to watch. Those were fun teams to watch. And Chipper was the head of it. The whole Larry Chipper Jones, like the nickname, it's fantastic. I was a big Chipper fan. Anyway, that's my list. I'll hang up. I could probably name Nick's list, by the way.
You probably could. I have two.
Mark Teixeira, Jorge Posada, Bernie Williams.
I have 2 honorable mentions. The aforementioned Jose Ramirez, who I have been adamant about. I had him as my most underrated player in the league. He may go down as the most underrated player of all time. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is that good. The numbers don't lie. His impact on that organization, the fact that they've kept him when they've gotten rid of everyone else, it shows. It's incredible. We talked about Mike Piazza, I think was that last week or the week before, about how where he was drafted still carries with him and how people remember him, which is absurd, right? It's the same thing for Jose Ramirez. The final scouting report before he got to the big leagues is still going to carry with him, which is just ridiculous. Oh, undersized. Oh, he's not fast enough. Doesn't have enough all the crap that you could think of. The dude is incredible, and he's so consistent. Definitely on there. Lance Berkman is my other honorable mention. Just like the boy said, Berkman, he falls under that underrated sect as well, because if you look at his numbers, if he had played a couple more years, he'd be a Hall of Famer. He would have finished with over 400 home runs. His career batting average would have been close to 300, right? His WAR would have been somewhere between like 60 and 70, which puts him in that conversation, even at that position, when you consider all those things for a Hall of Famer. But he'll go down as one of those guys like Hall of Good, like with
very good,
like with Johnny Damon, Bobby Abreu, those type of dudes. But Lance Berkman was really, really good. Number 5 is Mark Teixeira. Such a when you talked about like Beltran being consistent, Teixeira was the opposite. His stances were both wildly different.
You could only
his
hit
swings
home runs
were
from the left
wildly
side.
different. It was crazy, but he was. But you look up and he's, pretty deep, like a 270 average with like 35 home runs, 100 RBIs every year.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How?
But I think he would hit 30 of them from the left side, and then his batting average from the right side would be like 380.
Yeah, it was wild, crazy, almost like when you watch him, like this guy shouldn't be a switch hitter. Got to pick one of these because they're so like not even close to each other.
I hated his swing.
Yes, it's not
his
good.
Swing didn't look good.
It's like Hunter Pence. It's like so bad.
It was like one-handed. Yeah, I can picture both sides of the plate.
Mark Teixeira, who really should get more Hall of Fame thought.
Great fielding first,
in my opinion. Too. Yes, because of that. Right, such a great fielder over there. The switch hitting power numbers, there's not very few people ever who have more home runs than him. He's got a World Series. He really meets so many of the requirements. He doesn't have as many All-Star appearances though, because he was a notorious slow starter, and that I think may ultimately hurt him, even if career numbers kind of fit into that. He notoriously would start slow. Right. Number 4 is Jimmy Rollins, former MVP.
J-Roll, that's a good one.
That's a really good pick. That's
love
a really
Jimmy
good
Rollins.
How'd I miss J-Roll?
So awesome. The catalyst that made those Phillies teams go. He really was.
He was so good.
He was so good.
I remember we went on vacation one year, and we had to turn on I think the first place we got to, I forget where we were, but when we got to like the hotel room, we had to turn on the TV to see if Jimmy Rollins had continued his hit streak.
Oh yeah, he did have a crazy hit streak.
Something like 40 games or something. It was
Yes.
something insane.
No, J-Roll was sweet. J-Roll was awesome. Number 3 is Nick Swisher.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
I
Could've gotten that
love
one.
Nick Swisher. Nick Swisher was so awesome.
There's a member of the 2009 World Series Yankees in the bar with us right now.
Aldrin's got a beat on it. She's running out of room. She dives, and I have no idea where she's going with this.
Let me try to Kachuk this one up.
If there was a member of the Vancouver Canucks here, my panties would hit the floor so hard there'd be a hole to China.
Well, it's like that with the Yankees.
He's screwed.
You know, I love baseball, but it's no hockey. I live
right upstairs.
But no, so Nick Swisher, all the extracurricular stuff aside about like how awesome he is as like a person and being willing to do that, right? He was fun to watch. He was a great player. He's the type of guy that helps your team just for his character and who he is, right? And you forget he was a switch hitter, right? Because it's not the first.
I did forget. Yeah, I did forget he was a switcher. I look at him as a lefty.
I know. I love Nick Swisher. Number 2, and I'm sure the boy knows this. Number 2 is I'm going to go with actually Jorge Posada. And number 2, as much as I love Jorge,
I thought you would flip those.
Yeah, I love Jorge is one of my favorite players of all time. Right, we went through this before. I wore number 20 because of him. I didn't wear batting gloves. Part of that is because of him. But Jorge Posada is so good, so underrated from that catcher position. We're talking about it before, doesn't get the respect he really deserves because of the other guys on those teams, and because there was always a knock that he wasn't good defensively. But if you look at his whatever metrics they used, he was around like a average defender, which shouldn't be a knock on him, right? Not every person has to be a great defender, right? So Jorge Posada, always a tough out, always a fiery competitor. One of the big reasons those teams are successful. And one of the other big reasons is my number 1 is Bernie Williams. He is, a guy I've used underrated for many of these guys. Part of the reason why I like guys that are underrated is because they do things that don't show up. And you just always kind of root for that underdog. But Bernie was so good. He's so underrated to the point where they call it the core 4 and they leave him out. And he should be in that. It should be the Fab 5 or whatever of Pettit, Posada, Jeter, Rivera, and Bernie, because Bernie was there for all of it, right? Like he was there for almost every single thing they did. He spent his whole career at the Yankees. I think the only one he didn't win was that one in 2009, right? But Bernie was so good. You could bat him anywhere in the lineup. You could bat him against any pitcher because he was that good on each side of the plate. I believe it was always that you always say who's a better hitter from the right side, but man, his swing from the left side was smooth.
Yeah,
it was.
He always had his hands low, right? He kind of had his hands low and would go straight, and just go straight through the zone.
But you just talk about someone that's so consistent, so good. Like I said, these two guys, and Posada, because of their ability to switch it and because of their ability to hit well from each side of the plate, like you don't realize the effect that it has on a team. And again, you could bat Posada anywhere, but really, because of his speed, you don't necessarily want him in certain spots in the lineup. But Bernie, you could literally bat anywhere, and he's going to help you. He's going to slap a great at bat on you, right? He's going to be a threat no matter who you bring in. And that, about the last thing we were talking about Joe Torre, about how he could have his lineup looking certain ways to make it difficult.
Left, switch, left, right.
Those two guys, and especially Bernie Williams, that you could put him against anyone. Bernie was so good, and
also a hell of a musician.
Yes, he is. Either Grammy award winning or Grammy nominated musician, which is amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
plays the Yaz flute.
No, he plays the guitar.
I'm not prepared.
Really not prepared. But yeah, that's my list. Anything else?
Good list.
Yeah, snaps all around. All right, that's going to take us to our last segment, our What to Look For segment, brought to you as always by VB Cookie Co. Looking for the perfect way to stand out at the next event you are hosting? Well, custom cookies are a timeless way to have everyone still buzzing even after they leave. Look no further for your cookie needs than VB Cookie Co. Follow them on Instagram at VB Cookie Co. and message them to order yours today. Whether it is a bridal shower, birthday, engagement, or baby shower, their team will work with you to make all your cookie dreams come true. DB Cookie Co. for the sweetest moments. Anyone want to start? What to watch?
I got two things that I'm looking forward to. One, go back to golf. We're gonna start seeing the Ryder Cup captain's pick start coming out. It's rumored that Sam Burns has already gotten a call from Captain Keegan. So I'm excited to start seeing the rest of the Ryder Cup team take shape, and I think we're gonna get a lot of.
I think
we're gonna get on Wednesday. Yeah. So we're gonna get a lot of action of that rolling through in the next week.
And on Monday, the European team announces theirs.
Yeah.
So they announce it after us.
The second thing that I'm looking forward to, if we had to go back to the first time we recorded our podcast, if you remember, we talked about like idols and inspirations and, people we look up to that are in the field of like sports journalism and talk shows and whatnot. Well, something that's big, if I had to go back and redo it, I would probably put Dave Portnoy on that list, the owner CEO of Barstool, because like him or hate him, Barstool's just grown into a brand that's everywhere. And so much so that Fox Sports is now debuting this week their like Barstool collab. It's a 2-hour daily talk show with Portnoy and the Barstool boys. I'm excited to see how that works because honestly, like there have been a lot of endeavors that Barstool has taken on over the years that I expect to be just total and complete flops, I think, and they haven't been. So I think there's a chance that this ends up being something that's pretty good. Steve, you've had your hand up for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there. I respect his business acumen and what he's built, but however, him and Barstool in general are part of the reason why we wanted to do this. The hot take machine of Barstool Sports has been out there, and Portnoy has been the lead of it. And again, he's built a
but I think
multi-million dollar. I mean, he knows what he's doing. Let's just say that
100%.
But however, Fox is kind of looking at him to be the Pat McAfee of Fox's Big Noon Kickoff, where like McAfee's on game day. However, McAfee is a sports junkie to where like he's played the position. He knows what's going on. He's educational.
At one time, he was arguably the best in the world at his job.
Yes. Yeah. He was an All-American in West Virginia. He was the best punter in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's fun and he goes kind of over the top sometimes, and sometimes that people don't want to watch McAfee or whatever. However, he's always trying to learn and educate people and really get into football and other sports for that matter. Now, Portnoy is a hot take machine. I don't like this like comparison. They're very different. I just don't.
I'm not the one comparing them.
But that's the whole point of it. That was the point of it. Was Portnoy was the response of Fox to McAfee with ESPN. That's what it was.
That might be why Fox is looking at it, but that's not why I'm particularly looking forward to it.
I can't listen to him talk sports and take it seriously because
to me,
it's all out of left field. He'll throw out a million different things, and then the one that hits to go, see, I told you so. That's my issue with it.
To me,
that's how things work.
Like when Portnoy and Big Cat and all of those guys start talking sports, to me that it hits home is obviously like they don't have the resume of like a McAfee or like anyone that's on ESPN, whatever. But to me, they're more relatable because they're
Big Cat and PFT, I think, are very relatable.
They're fans. They're sports fans talking about sports.
No, they're the only two that like of that network besides like Compton and Taylor Lewan. Big Cat and PFT are the only two that are like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sports knowledge. We remember things. We go through it. We have some fun. I like them. I don't like Portnoy as any sort of take on a football game. It's going to be Ohio State sucks. Michigan's the best. Here it is.
He got banned from Ohio State.
I will say he'll get people to watch. And this is the whole point of it.
I'm right there.
He'll get people to watch and they'll make a lot of money. This is the whole point of it.
Like I said, everything they touch turns to gold. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
Again, I respect what he built. I don't have to like.
You're separating the art from the artist.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
which
fair.
is fine. This is America. It's capitalism, right? I respect it. I prefer a different way.
That's fine. All right, so you go ahead and tell me what you're looking forward to, and I'll shit all over that.
Yeah.
All right, try to shit on this one then, dickhead. It's Lee Corso's last headgear pick. Yeah, you got something to say? I was gone quiet. Don't know.
Continue.
I don't know if you guys watched the Lee Corso hour special, but it was incredible. Tears.
That was really nice.
I thought they were going to show that during game day. I've been purposely
they'll show it probably the hour before game day starts, guaranteed.
So
they've been showing it like every day this week.
I had been purposely not watching any of those things. One, because I knew I would cry at some point.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'll watch it the once on the last one. All right. So if I'm gonna cry, it's gonna be one time as opposed to many other times.
I've refused to watch it since I watched it Saturday night.
Nice.
Or Friday night, I should say, Friday night. I've refused to watch it since. But yeah, I'm sure they're gonna play it the hour before game day starts. On either ESPN or ESPN2. They have to. But yes, you will cry. So
you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl.
Yeah.
Just like worlds.
Other than that, the college football games, Thursday, by the way.
Badges.
Yeah, they do play. I wasn't gonna highlight that one. Boise State, South Florida.
Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin. You were not gonna talk about that?
No, I was gonna do Boise State at South Florida and Ohio at Rutgers, because right now the Badgers are driving me nuts. But Nebraska at Cincinnati is probably that's your big game. That's at 9:00 on Thursday, which is really nice that these games are on Thursday. Friday, Auburn, Baylor, big game. I'm a big Baylor believer.
Till they lose to the worst team in the SEC.
They're not losing. That game's in Waco. They're not losing that. Georgia Tech at Colorado. I'm also a big Georgia Tech fan this year. And then Saturday, it's my daughter's first birthday, Texas and Ohio State. I will be watching that and seeing how drunk I can get at a 1-year-old's birthday party.
I'll beat you to it.
Bring it on.
All right, so
competition breeds greatness.
Yeah, thank you, boy. So besides, the boys' daughter's birthday party, which I expect game day to be on during that.
Absolutely, of course.
And I noticed the time was 11, and so I told Jordan, good, thank God I'll get to watch game day, but get there in fucking time.
You won't.
Well, I'll be driving us there. Who knows who will be driving us back. Maybe one of the children. But besides
what's the Uber?
I'm not driving to the airport. Besides that, I'll go to the U.S. Tennis Open. I feel like I have to clarify that. But yes, that kicked off in a weird way. They changed their stuff. Like, I think last week they did the mixed doubles, and they did it on purpose so that some of these bigger players could play in the mixed doubles and have that done before the main draw started. They started on Sunday, and that was controversial because a lot of players don't like that Sunday start because of the fortnight that it takes to do a whole major with the size of the field and all the events. But that's been on its way. They're kind of wrapping up the first round today, I believe. So, the first weekend here will have basically the most number of high quality matches that you'll see is that first weekend. That's always,
it's like March Madness.
Exactly. I was going to say, it's like March Madness where like that first weekend is the best. The first weekend at a major or a Grand Slam for tennis is the best. So that'll be going on this weekend. So that's something to watch for. And again, I swore this tournament normally started in like a week from now, like after Labor Day. So it's interesting to see that they adjusted this, and now arguably their biggest weekend is going to coincide with the biggest,
football?
The start of college football. That's interesting to me, but I'm still going to be looking at that, tuned in for it. Should be good. U.S. Open's always a fun time.
Why don't we use the word Fortnite more?
Because it's
a video game.
See you in 2 weeks. See you in a fortnight. No.
The fuck? Go back to England.
It's too old timey. Why not say?
Why do we only use it in tennis?
Why do we say 13 instead of Baker's dozen? You know what I mean? Like,
thank you, Kamala. Your overlords are a frail old woman and a baby.
London at night. That is very funny.
Of course you do,
It's
sir.
the
It's
most wonderful piece of paper in the world. Thank you, Ron. But anything else before we wrap this up, which may wind up being our last show? At this rate.
Wrap it up.
All right, so that's going to do it for us here at What Caught My Eye, or WCME Sports. As always, I am the host, the coach, Nick Vesci, joined by the boy, Stephen Vesci, and the man, Stephen Comlow. Reminder, Follow us on all of our socials on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, Threads. I think I might have missed one, but I think I got them all. At WCME_sports. Our episodes drop every Wednesday at noon on Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And all that information can be found on our website, WCMEsports.com. Remember, be decent to each other. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Take care, Guatemala.